This is why boxing is fucking dying. This is why boxing is dying. Look at this. Now let's look at all of the rankings. Let's see what's going on here. So the biggest fight at welterweight that we want to see, that everybody wants to see, everybody wants to see this fight. Everybody wants to see Spence. Excuse me, I'm kind of tired. But everyone wants to see Spence versus Crawford. Everybody wants to see this fight. Now, who's really holding up this fight? Who's really holding up this fight? The person that's really holding up this fight is Errol Spence. And do you know why he's holding up this fight? It's because he's asking for an unfair split. He's saying that where's the source that he's asking for the unfair split? He's asking for 60% of the purse, and he's saying that Terence Crawford only deserves 40% of the purse. But that seems kind of crazy considering that he's the champion and you're also the champion. But even though you have, well, let's see, well, how many belts does he have? He only has one belt, right? No, I think he beat somebody, right? I'm kind of tripping, but I mean, boxing is a joke now, man. Seriously. But he won, yeah, he beat Sean Porter, so he's unified. He's unified world champion, man. He's the unified world champion at welterweight. You know, he beat Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia at welterweight. Mikey Garcia is not elite. He's a lightweight, right? He's not even a fucking welterweight. He's a light welterweight or a lightweight. Actually, he's a lightweight. Really, he fights at lightweight. Carlos Ocampo, he's a bum. Lamont Peterson, solid fighter, but he's just a contender, not really a A-level fighter. Kell Brook, B-level fighter, a good win, but the win is overshadowed by Triple G because Triple G actually hurt Kell Brook's eye, so that's the reason why the fight was not as competitive as I thought it would be. But I think that Errol Spence he's holding up this fight. Okay, he's holding up the fight because he's asking for, see, the purse split. You see this right here? Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford purse split. Y'all gonna make me do 80-20. Holy shit. Damn, 80-20? Wow, that's insane. If he actually, bruh, if this nigga actually says make it 80-20, that means that he's holding up the fight. Let's be real. This dude does not want to fight Terence Crawford, man. And do you know what this do you know what this means? This is the reason why boxing is dying. Boxing is dying because of not because of Terence Crawford, but I mean, honestly, both of them are some bitches because they're the reason the fight's not happening. These motherfuckers don't want to make this fight, and well, this is the fight to make. Why can't we make this fight? Like, I don't understand. This is the best fight that we can make. This is clearly the biggest fight to make. Clearly the best fight to make. But Spence is holding up the fight by asking for a completely insane split. Spence's demand to take an even bigger chunk of the overall revenue pie won't sit right with Crawford. I mean, Crawford is one of the best in the world. I don't think that he's asking for an unfair split when he's saying that he should be paid what he's worth. I think he deserves 50-50 or a slight 60-40 advantage for Spence because I do think that Spence has established himself at the welterweight division better more than Crawford. Because Crawford, I mean, he hasn't really beaten nobody at at welterweight, at welterweight. He hasn't beaten nobody yet. Um, at welterweight, he hasn't really beaten nobody. Kell Brook, okay, fine, but I mean, come on, guys, let's be real. Kell Brook already damaged goods, man. Kavaliauskas, I don't know who that is. Amir Khan, not a great win. Jose Benavidez, not really a great win. Jeff Horn, whatever. See, so he's not really fighting nobody that's like insanely good. At welterweight, he hasn't really fought nobody. Not at welterweight, and I think he could possibly lose against Pacquiao, but Pacquiao, I think he beats him. I think Crawford might be. I don't know. This is a good fight. Pacquiao still got it because he beat Keith Thurman, so I don't know what's gonna happen here. He might win. He might lose. Who knows, man? Who knows? Wait. Pacquiao has a belt, right? He has a WBA belt that he beat. No, wait, hold on. WBC is with Errol Spence, and he has the IBF, right? I am so confused. So many fucking belts, man. That's the problem with the UFC. Well, not the UFC, but that's the problem with boxing. Now, if you compare boxing to the UFC makes all of the biggest fights. Ngannou versus Miocic just happened last weekend. All of the big fights that the UFC, that the fans in the UFC want to see, always happen. But when you look at boxing, we won't even be able to see Canelo versus somebody good like, what do you say, like Charlo. We're not gonna see that fight. The super fights, we're just not gonna see them. Like, we just have to accept that we're never gonna see those fights, and that's just how it is. Now, if you look at Triller boxing, right? Triller, um, they're gonna make a lot of money with these fights. This is why Jake Paul versus Ben Askren is such a big fight now. And even Oscar De La Hoya is coming back to fight too. Like, what do you have it? I mean, boxing is a joke now. I don't really discredit them for doing that because boxing is a complete joke. It's a fucking joke. Because the best are not fighting the best. Why are the best not fighting the best anymore? Yeah, okay, fine. He's fighting. And even Tyson. Okay, fine. Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua is getting made, but is it? Is it really getting made? Because that fight is taking ages to make. The biggest fight. The absolute biggest fight in boxing is Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence. That's the biggest fight to make. But if we don't get that fight, boxing's just done, man. It's over. It's over with, man. It's over. It's over. It's over. Sorry, guys. I just don't. I just don't have I don't have the fire in me anymore with boxing, because the fights I want to see just don't happen. Look, I wanted to see Canelo versus Triple G when it first came out. I didn't get to see that. I had to wait a couple years. Mayweather versus Pacquiao, I had to wait 7 years. Like, what the fuck is wrong with boxing nowadays, man? And I don't even think this fight's gonna be made with Pacquiao. I think that's probably not even gonna happen as well. Like, boxing's just dead. It's just dying. It's really, really dying. Canelo's out here fighting bombs. Come on, man. Who the fuck is Avni Yildirim, man? He's never won a title. Never. He lost to Anthony Dirrell. He got knocked. I mean, well, I mean, he lost. So, he got knocked out by Chris Eubank in the 3rd round. Knocked the fuck out. Yeah, Chris Eubank is not an elite fighter. He's not elite. He's not elite. He lost to George Groves. Yeah, I mean, this guy is not elite, man. Wait, where was the James DeGale fight? Oh yeah, he already beat him, right? What happened to this guy, man? He won the fucking gold medal at the Olympics, and you're gonna lose to Chris Eubank Jr. But anyways, man, like boxing is just dying, man. It's just dying. It's really dying. We need boxing is on life support right now. Well, the UFC has already overtaken boxing. That's not even a question of whether or not it's overtaken boxing. It's already overtaken boxing. Now Triller might overtake boxing too, because you have to remember, because if if the best fights are not made, then people are gonna start watching more and more fights like Jake Paul and Ben Askren. Why do you think so much media attention and so much attention has been given to Jake Paul versus Ben Askren? Let's see. Paul versus Ben Askren. Pay-per-view buys. No, well, we don't know how many buys they have, but people are saying that it's gonna do 2 million pay-per-views or more. Fifth most viewed fight ever. Because you know why? Do you know why? Because Spence and Crawford are not fighting each other. So these two guys, Ben Askren and Jake Paul, are eating off of that because the market is still there. It's just an untapped market. You see, let me give you guys an example. If you have a market, and you, for example, you have the housing market. If if most people in that market are not trying to sell their house, you're always gonna find somebody that's willing to sell their house for a premium price. Okay? And if you provide a service and you're a fucking, how do you say it? The fuck is that? Like a housing agent, then you're gonna become more popular because that's an open market that's untapped. Nobody's actually using that. So with boxing, the untapped market is that the best fights are not getting made, so people are settling for fantasy matchups with YouTubers because since those real boxers are not willing to fight, they're gonna watch anybody that's willing to fight. So, I mean, just how it is. Do you think that this would be able to happen if it was in the UFC? No, no, it's not possible. But anyways, man, like it is what it is. Boxing is just gonna die. It is what it is.